All right, Nick, let's talk about the Pittsburgh Steelers. There's some pretty big news announced this week, and I think Steelers fans are going to like it, but I also think there's a deeper meaning in what was said, and we'll get into all of that in just a moment. But Steelers fans, it's the offseason. We're looking forward to the draft. We're looking forward to next season, and I want to know in the comments below, let us know, looking at your roster as a whole, you have a lot of very good pieces, but what is one position that you want the team to address this offseason? Where do you think you're the weakest at? What do you think would be the most value in addressing? Let us know in the comments below. And while you're there, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. It really helps us out, helps us grow the channel. And we do publish a lot of Steelers content, so it'll pop up in your recommendeds every time it comes out. But Nick, what do you got on the Pittsburgh Steelers?
Yeah, Miles, you hit the nail on the head. We do a lot of Steelers content because, frankly, they're one of the few teams in the NFL, at least in my opinion, that play football, at least generally, the way it's supposed to be played. And that's tough, physical, relentless energy. And I can think of no person that embodies that spirit more than Cameron Hayward. And, of course, after the season, there were some rumors and concerns that Hayward would potentially hang it up and retire in the offseason. And according to Yardbarker, there's a report about Hayward's status going forward. So I'm going to read from the report here. Following the Steelers' regular season finale, defensive tackle Cameron Hayward seemed to be questioning his future after wanting to, quote, take time to think, unquote, he's made his decision. I'm going to quote Hayward now. Quote, I don't think I'm retiring right now. I just got to give my body time to rest. I want to keep playing. I want to continue to be a Pittsburgh Steeler. The report went on to say, Miles, that Hayward is turning 34 years old in May, but just put together one of his best seasons of a career. He had 74 tackles, 10.5 sacks. Oh, I didn't know he had that many. Good Lord. He's even better than I thought he was. One forced fumble and one fumble recovery. Part of an elite defense, obviously. All right, Miles, give me your thoughts on Hayward and him returning to the Steelers, or it seems like he's going to return to the Steelers, and what this means for this whole organization and team going forward.
Yeah, Nick, add on to those stats for you. Per PFF, 89.7 grade, wow. Number 5 overall interior defensive lineman graded. Obviously, he's like a right end in that Steelers 3-4 defense, but interior defensive lineman number 5 in the NFL right now. So he is quite the player. But when I hear a guy like Cam Hayward, he has been around for quite a while, Nick. You know, he is a guy that is seasoned, and he's put his highlights out there. Everybody knows him. Everyone knows what he's all about. I truly think he doesn't really have anything left to prove at this point. His what am I trying to say here? His history, legacy is has been set, but when I hear a guy like that wanting to come back, he wants to stay with the team. He's not going to retire. What that says to me is that he does not feel as if the Pittsburgh Steelers are in a rebuilding mode. He feels the team is there. He feels they are playoff ready. He feels that they will be contenders next year for the AFC North. They will be contenders for the playoffs to make a deep run, because why else would he want to stay with the team? It reminds me almost like a Ray Lewis-esque season, where they knew when he hit the playoffs that last season, said, hey guys, this is my last go around, but I know that we can do it. And, you know, they went all the way, made it to the Super Bowl. But Hayward's saying, like, hey, I'm not going to retire yet because I see a lot of promise in this team, and he obviously likes what is going on. If everyone on the Steelers team was unhappy, they did not like what was going on inside the organization, I don't think he would be sticking around. So that's what I get from all of this. Do you agree with that sentiment, Nick?
Yeah, 100%. I think you bring up a lot of great points there. Hayward doesn't have anything to prove. He's an elite level player. I think he's only, 2.5 sacks behind James Harrison's all-time Steelers sack record. So obviously an all-time Pittsburgh great, who knows, has an outside chance to get the Hall of Fame one day if everything breaks right for him. But I think this really highlights how important, even though the Steelers missed the playoffs, how important their strong finish was. Those late game-winning drives against the Raiders, against the Ravens, finishing off the Browns to complete the regular season. Because if they had fallen apart, the wheels had fallen off, or they had finished 5-12, 6-11, or 4-13, whatever it could have possibly been, Hayward doesn't come back, right? He feels defeated. He feels worn out. Let me juxtapose you that with another guy, another veteran, another elite defensive lineman. How about J.J. Watt, right? T.J. Watt's brother, obviously. Look, if the Arizona Cardinals finish 9-8 or 10-7 or 8-9, like we're right in the thick of things, do you think J.J. Watt retires?
No.
I don't think so, because if you're a good team with a good young quarterback and exciting coach, which the Cardinals theoretically could have been, but it fell apart for them, you stick around. The Pittsburgh is young. They are exciting. They've got Pickett. They've got Pickens. Tomlin's established a strong culture there. That whole front offense does a great job. And I think when you're in that environment, you don't want to hang it up, especially when you're playing at a high level. I mean, 89 PFF grade is just outstanding for any age, let alone 34. So I 100% agree with your sentiment that Hayward realizes there's something special going on in that Pittsburgh locker room right now.
Yeah, and like you said, the Cardinals, that's the tale of two cities. Cardinals falling apart, no GM, going to lose their coach. There's teammates coming out saying, Kyler Murray's contract was a train wreck, derailed the whole locker room, et cetera, et cetera. That would never go on Pittsburgh. They've got things on lock over there. So as you said, I'm really looking forward to next season because I want to see what this defense can do when everyone's at full health all the time. TJ Watt, Cam Hayward, Highsmith, Spillane was kind of sitting there. And one thing that we said, Nick, at the beginning of this season, Miles Jack filling in the linebacker position. Bush, I think he's on his way out of the organization. This team is really set up to go far next year.